Good evening and welcome to the Norwood Trails Advisory Committee meeting of Tuesday, October 14th, 2025. We are here at the spacious Norwood Senior Center, 275 Prospect Street. All of our meetings are open to the public. All of our meetings since COVID began are hybrid meetings. Our agendas are posted through the clerk's office and are posted on the town website and on the Trails Committee website. We don't have anyone online, but there's a chance somebody may dial in. So because of that, I'm going to ask that we go around the table and do a welcome and enter and sign in, please. Joby.
Joe Barrett.
Chris Paddock.
Jean Palmetier.
Dick Bagel.
Brian Palmetier. Lee Leach.
Marguerite Krupp.
And I'm Joe Greeley. Thank you all for coming. Such a pleasure. This week we had the first nor'easter of the year. So lots of wind, lots of rain, but not terribly bad compared to other parts of the country. So moving right into the agenda, call to order and take attendance. We are good to go there. I'm going to skip over number 2 for now. Visitors featured topics or upcoming invitations. It's always an open item to see if we want to invite anybody, if anybody's given any thought to inviting folks. Let me know what you think. Upcoming / ongoing events. Today was the end of farmers market for the year. So, Mr. Leach, would you like to comment on that, please?
So today we had the final farmers market down at the Common from 2 to 6. It was kind of tough conditions, so there wasn't a lot of the community that turned out, but there were a couple people that did come by the trails table, and so we took care of them and put it to order. And kind of raw because of the conditions, but I believe that overall the whole season was very much of success. I think we got a lot of materials, a lot of maps went out through the course of the full farmers market season from June till October, and that also just interfacing with the the community, and getting their feedback, who was interested in learning about the trails. It seems like a lot of people, even the person that came through today at the beginning, was a longtime Norwood resident, but was looking to expand their knowledge of trails and getting information on places they haven't been to before. So that's always good to be able to relay that information to new prospective walkers on our trails. So that's sort of been the theme, I think, the whole summer, and I think it's very worth that continue as we go forward. So that's basically my report.
Okay, great. I did ask Lee at the end of the day today what his thoughts were as far as whether or not it's worthwhile this past summer and whether we think going forward we should do it again next year if possible. So
I think it's a great opportunity. We get a lot of, like I said, a lot of different kinds of feedbacks, various levels of people that are, abilities. Also, we get a flavor for who comes to town, either from a community, neighborhoods, or other towns of work, or people that are working town. So it's not just residents; it's also people that do visit us for whatever reasons. Sometimes families that grew up here, they go off for their career, and then they're just back here sort of later in life, and retirement or whatever, and now learning new aspects of.
How do you think overall the farmers market is doing?
I thought it was probably, the current farmer's market is, I mean, it's taken a number of seasons to get back to, what I guess it was before the pandemic, but every year it seems to be doing a lot, somewhat better. And it's just a matter of like just a combination of different vendors and organizations that come. Seems like every week there's slightly something different. So just because you come one week doesn't mean you're going to see the same thing the next week. So, no, they try to keep some newer pop-ups, if you will, different kinds of groups. Today we had the Better Business Bureau popped up right next to the trails. So two people that were sort of doing the same kind of informational, education for the public, but different, I guess, focuses, but still the same kind of model.
Yep. Yeah, it's not only visitors to the booth, it's vendors talking to
And
vendors.
a segue to what you have up on the screen, Joe, the person who did come by the market, I directed them to this particular trailhead, and the fact that we've just installed a bench down there at a great viewing point, and that was one of the things they said was they wanted to see more opportunities to enjoy benches on the trail. So it was great to be able to show them a new bench placement and where to go to find it.
Luckily, we had a perfect role model sitting in the bench to provide this picture. Yeah.
While we're on the topic of the bench, you can probably see it swung around 90 degrees from where they had originally placed it. I liked it back the way it was, but since there were other people there at the time, I wasn't about to swing it back.
Yeah.
Not facing the water.
It is facing, it's like a 180 degree
Yeah.
thing.
Let's face it.
But it's facing the trail.
The top of the trail,
The
yeah.
top of the trail.
Yeah.
However, I have to report one thing. As of today, somebody has autographed it.
Oh, gee.
Didn't take them long because I was there. What? Sunday or Monday? I forgot.
Autograph.
They put there. I think it was Steve and Jenny.
Nice.
But it was small.
Good for them.
Good for them.
Yeah.
Why is it facing the trails though and not the water?
Well, somebody. Oh, I know why. Because they said that the sun was in their eyes, so they
Oh.
moved it.
Yeah.
Pardon me.
Plus- than morning
Face the
sun.
water.
No, actually, noontime sun.
No, okay.
Noontime sun.
Yeah.
Because morning sun would be on the other end.
It's behind you, the
Yeah.
sunrise.
So if I get a chance, or if you get a chance, feel free to turn it around again.
You can see the drag marks on the
Yeah.
right
Yeah.
hand side here.
Oh, yeah.
I did
they're
first
there.
as
Yeah.
I-
mobile at least, you know.
I can
Yeah.
also see the chain.
Yeah, the chain is a good, strong chain.
Yeah.
And-
Make double-sided benches.
When,
Sit in.
okay, you go for it. I'll give you the design and you can have at it.
Yeah.
When we dropped it off, we obviously had it facing the water, like facing straight out.
Yep.
The fact that the chain is in that back corner means that we can always shift it left and right. Marguerite did suggest that we get out there with some poly or cuprinol or something to give it some stain and some longer life. Joe, I'm sorry.
What kind of wood?
Just pressure treated, nothing special, but no. Joe also recommended we put, of course, if people keep moving it, we'd have to put one big slab, but to put pavers,
6 pavers, maybe,
put pavers underneath the feet.
just to keep it from rot.
I would tell you that a couple of senior citizens of my acquaintance were delighted that this was there.
Good.
And we were headed down there yesterday morning.
Cool. So we were, the woman who stopped by the booth this afternoon was specifically asking about benches, so that's why we showed
Good.
her that picture. But then we were kind of rattling off where other locations where we had benches, like
Mhm.
Cooper Park has easily 6 to 8 plus picnic tables, etc. I know Endine does, Shattuck does, cause Hennessy, I think, has a couple. I think so. It's not complete, but it's getting there. So thank you for your quality.
Thank everybody for
quality
working on
control.
it. It was great.
Um,
It's comfortable too.
it is pretty comfortable. You could almost, oh, never mind. I won't say that. Need to shut this thing off. Let's see what else. Farmers market. So we think that's a good one. When I sent out the meeting invitation, I also sent out, not that, I sent out,
On the street.
yep, the wellness fair on, when I sent out the agenda, I incorrectly put it as 11:05, but I have since corrected it, so it's 11:15. So if anyone is available for that, it's at
That's the one
the,
you and I did last year. Joe?
it's at the high school, yes. Yep. Um,
It's a big event too, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Several organizations.
What time, Joe, on that?
10 to 2.
So that's a good one. It Impact Norwood. There's a combination of Impact Norwood and the high school and the Board of Health are kind of co-hosting it. So, and they have a series of questions and answers, how to present your theme depending on who the vendor is and what they're presenting. So all that is spelled out in that email that I sent out, but we just barely, actually November, we don't meet until after the 15th. So because of the Veterans Day holiday. So that is,
No.
what else do we have?
Wait, is it a table or is it a presentation?
No, it's a table,
Oh.
but presentation meaning what's
What we
the
have
message
done,
and
yeah.
what we're all about. And
Wasn't that one of the first things that we did at the trip years ago?
I think that might have been Earth Day. This one is brand new.
Brand new.
Last year was the first year they had it.
So the other one was Earth Day.
I think. So. Those up in the high school, maybe.
Yeah, the high school. That was very well.
All right. So that's the wellness fair on the 15th of November.
When is that thing that they hold at the high school, where people like get a jump start on Christmas shopping? Where?
Craft affair?
Yeah, is that?
I think it's
already
next.
coming
The
on?
15th.
I think it's this weekend, isn't
Yeah,
it?
this weekend.
Yeah.
I think
Is
it's
that
10
something
o'clock.
we want to be at?
Probably not.
3,000
No,
people.
definitely not.
No, it's not that kind of a
Yeah,
thing.
right.
People sell things.
A lot of vendors.
You can go. I'm sure it's
Yeah. Oh, it's
marvelous.
fun.
What else do we have? I just put together a couple of column subcommittee reports. Brian had emailed me earlier today about the Mass Trails grant, which we definitely want to apply for relative to the trail wayfinding. So Brian, I can work with you offline on that.
Okay.
Probably the best step is the first step. They usually have, and I'll try to ask Alex to give us a heads up if she sees it first. In November-ish, they have the state Mass Trails group puts on a webinar. And that I think for some reason, November 1st is when the window opens. And they have a webinar soon thereafter to outline anything new, the amount of money, any special theme or goal that the state wants to accomplish. Like I think it was last year, they were focused on rails to trails. So they wanted to gear at least a portion of the money towards rail reconfiguration. I don't know if that's still the case this year.
I was a little disappointed. We did have one, first, I had mentioned in a previous meeting that it would be helpful to have somebody who's a professional grant writer, kind of helping and managing it. And we had one spouse, we had guys like, oh, my wife does this, but she may not want to do it after work. And I guess we didn't hear back. So we're kind of on our own again. But Joe emailed me back saying that he thinks that we can get some support for community development. Putting stuff together. The wayfinding committee did a lot of the work already, so we know what we need.
Yep.
Joe Barrett went out and made a note of where the markers and everything go on the trail. You might want to revisit that since we blazed a few more trails since you did that work a year ago. Just somebody. My problem is not having the time or the experience to organize these kinds of things. The project is required. So that's why I was hoping we had somebody that professionally to do that. But I guess if we're all working together, taking pieces of it, I'm sure we have to at least put together wording and then get some help from community development to punch it out. But because they've got a lot of grant writing experience there. Hopefully.
Oh, where's the grant writing experience they can be, Brian?
What's that?
I can hear you say, where?
Oh, community development, where they've written grants like for
Highlights?
the park,
Oh, okay.
like that big grant they got from the state for the Cooper Park.
Uh,
So
the,
there's a lot of grants written out of community development. So maybe
the library also offered a workshop on grant writing about maybe 2 years ago.
I was trying to find if I had. I was trying to find somewhere I saved the information about when that annual Mass Trails grant, that training that we do once a year.
Yeah.
Be able to get my hands on it right this second. So I'll look that up. I'll put my report on pause for a little bit. Go on to the other one. If I find it, I can raise my hand.
Just so everybody knows, the reading from their Mass Trails
And their deadline is February 1st.
Yep.
And you got to have all your ducks in a row when you send the application, which means any place we're going to put markers, we have to have the approval of whoever owns that land, whether it's the town, conservation commission, schools. So that's going to be the biggest thing, is that they will reject an application if there's a signature missing.
Mhm.
So just so everybody knows, Mass Trails is a division of the state. It falls under the Department of Conservation and Recreation, Mass Department of Transportation, and Executive Office of Energy and Environmental Affairs. Mass Trails seeks to expand and connect the Commonwealth's networks of off-road shared use pathways and recreational trails for all users across Massachusetts. It does this by providing matching grants, technical assistance, and resources to individuals, municipalities, Native nations, nonprofits, and other public entities to design, construct, and maintain high-quality Massachusetts trails. So we think the wayfinding has in the past been approved. We know it has been in the past approved as a eligible grant request. So this goes on to say, nope, it doesn't. So last year takes them a while, even though the applications are due on February 1st. On on October 7th of 2025, the Healy Driscoll administration awards $7.5 million in grants for trail improvements across the state. So it takes 7, 10, 8 months to wind through the whole cycle. So an application that's submitted by February 1st won't come to fruition until the end of 2026. Still, it's good. 50 trail projects. So out of, I don't know how many hundreds of requests they get, but there's a lot. All right. Thanks, Brian.
Partly, I do remember that it wasn't, they don't announce the date ahead of time, which is why I can't find it on my calendar. Apparently, when they're gonna host it, they like give 2-3 days notice.
Okay.
That's a specific plan, but I think it kind of just popped up. Right?
Okay, great. Thank you. Do you mind coming back in November and just giving us an update at the November meeting? If you're going to be here. Thank you. Number 2, Taya Trail status and Concom permitting. Joe, do you want to?
Okay, relative to status from the maintenance standpoint. Let me see, did 40 hours, or we had 64.5 people hours in the month of September. That was the last of the big months of growing season months. The monthly average was 94.25 people hours. I was involved with most of the 64, 40 of them, and 52 of the 94.25. But we're really busy June, July, August, and September. Things are slowing down. Right now in October, we've only got 7 hours in so far. Stuff I documented on trails. There's been some other stuff going on that wasn't really maintenance. So the bulk of the work in September was the final weed whacking for every trail. Every trail's been cut and weed whacked for the last time it needs to be done for the season. Some of the trails needed to be done 5+ times because it's grass and it grows real fast and it's a big meadow, wet soil. Other parts you don't need to cut as much. By the middle of August, when our intern left, I think I had every trail cut at least once except one. And that's been done since. That was the U Street connector. Brian and Jean have done some stick pickup along there. Gone in since then in September and widened it. And so could use a little more stick pickup there again. And also connected it to the actual end of U Street. At the end of U Street, if you look in far enough, you see like an orange flag. And the orange flags take you to the sewer easement that goes between 2 people's driveways, but it takes you out towards the airport. Takes a right on the sewer line and brings you to Meadow Street entrance.
Wow.
So anyone from that whole U Street access road area in the town can actually come in there without walking on streets. So that's a nice little connector. And then the only other thing I did in September focused on a couple of choke points on some of the trails. One at the Blue and White Trail in the Pine Tree Forest where Trappo Brook is, widened that, and there was one other one, the Yellow Trail across the culverts at Vanderbilt. So those choke points are nice and wide, and the trails look like they've been there for a long time now. So that's it on the maintenance. In terms of the water crossings, I'll share this topic with Joe, but we met with today with NEPRA and Jerry Hopcroft, who did he remote in? I texted him about the meeting. I don't know if
He's not with us.
Well, we got an inch of rain last week, so we all know that the river's gone up a foot, and before it went down very far, we got 2.5 inches. So the river's gone up 3 feet since the other day. The good news is instead of taking days and being a lag before it starts going down, it looks like it's crested, and it looks like tomorrow it'll actually be going down, but it's,
It's been a slow rain.
yeah.
It's been like heavy downpour.
So that's good, but, you know, Joe had some dates for when we would maybe start working on one of the first bridges. And because of this rainstorm, we had to like recalibrate. So did some back of the napkin projections of when we think, this will actually be doable. So today, the river was 9.64 feet. I think we wanted around 7 feet, maybe 7.5, but at 7.64 feet, the river should be 7.64 feet, down 2 feet by Wednesday, October 22nd. So Friday, October 24th, it'd be 7.24 feet. Again, my projections. So the target is to actually have a work crew with some NEPA volunteers going out the 24th, 25th, and 26th of October. You know, weather permitting, depending upon if it rains again. And that could either be the large Vanderbilt trench or the large airport trench. If the large airport trench is doable, we should do that one first because that'll fill up sooner, go down later. So if that's available, we should nail it down. But if it's not, Vanderbilt will probably won't be as high and we could tackle that one first. So that's, those are some ballpark dates. And NEPA knows about it. They're gonna be able to dig up some people. We talked about how many people we might want and not want, because too many people isn't a good thing either. We talked about if it's the large Vanderbilt trench, we'll throw some wood in the Doug Bean's metal seatless canoe and tow some of the wood down with the Babel, and then have other people carry stuff down. Jerry said he's done a lot of projects up in Maine where people carry stuff up 1/2 mile, and it's bigger timber than we use, and you know you can carry it. And we're not really going up any hills, as we all know. Some little dips, but so that's happening. That's all real good news. We also talked about some strategies of how to approach this. And one of the strategies is even before that, the day the wood gets dropped off or the day after the wood gets dropped off, we can actually do some cutting of the wood. So the 4x6s are all cut to the 4 or 6 foot lengths. We can drill the holes for the rebar to go through all at the DPW bay up at the Winter Street landfill where it's going to get dropped off. So that's all prep stuff we can do to make the job a lot easier. And we should start doing that. We could do that maybe as early as next week if the wood comes in. The other thing we talked about is maybe installing, if the river's still a little high from this 3-foot rise, if we put the sleepers on the 2 banks, we can get to them either by hip waders or chest waders or the canoes, if it's the large airport trench, or the third, the North Runway trench, or we can walk to the 2 ends from opposite directions at Vanderbilt and get the sleepers in. If we have the sleepers down, installed, pinned in with the rebar, and just leave them until it goes down, then when the water does go low enough to start building the cribbing, all we got to do to set up then is run a string between the sleepers, drop a plumb bob, know where the center is that we start putting the cribbing in, and just start building it up. So it's not a bad idea to have those sleepers in ahead of time. And that's one thing we need to do. And we'll be ready to go. It's all set up and we can, it might only be available for a day, and we can do it like in a day's notice, start building the cribbing, at least the lower courses. So that seems to be a good viable strategy. The other option we talked about is there are a couple of bridges that have been permitted that don't need the cribbing, but they're our lowest priorities of the 6 that were permitted. They're both off of University Ave, one behind the analog building, where we cross the quote unquote skating club stream, which is really the sewer easement that comes off University Ave. And then about 1/8 to 1/2 mile down where that stream intersects with Purgatory would have to come in from University Ave on the Metro Cabinet Trench to do that. And there'd be there's dependencies for both those. We'd want approval from the analog building to access the site, go through their, the old abandoned golf course behind their building to get the wood there for that, for one. And then on the Metro Cabinet Trench, that's all town land. But when I weed whacked that, that was probably the last trail section I weed whacked. I was a little disappointed when I went through there to find there were like a fair amount of blowdowns, one big one. So if we're carrying in a bunch of lumber, I just want to get out there with a sizable chainsaw and just be able to walk
Mm.
on the same level instead of stepping over
Yeah.
tree after tree. And one of them was huge, and it was, of course, it was right on my way out,
Of
right
course.
by the gas easement. And that one's kind of left in. All I really did for that one is I cut, it was draped with more poison ivy than I've ever seen on a tree. And I had been looking at that for years, thinking, I hope when this falls, it goes the other way. It didn't.
It didn't.
But I did cut as much of the poison ivy off with the little hatchet saw. So when it comes time to cut that out, the poison ivy, hairy, woody stalks will be gone.
Got it done without getting poison ivy, which is a remarkable thing in itself.
Yeah, yeah. So. that's
So
the deal.
if I can ask you, sorry to interrupt, if I can ask you about national amusements, so they,
Did I say national amusements? Analog. Is, oh, you're talking about,
further down, okay, so analog,
Yeah.
so we do need to get access approval from them?
I would think we'd
That's a
want it
one,
to
that's a
just-
one timer?
Yeah, just to get the wood in there and stuff.
Yeah.
If we had to, we could maybe go from their parking lot onto the conservation land and go up and down all kinds of hilly terrain that's not cut.
Yeah.
It's fairly clear because it's such a canopy, there's not a lot of stuff there, but as opposed to walking right across a abandoned golf course,
Yeah.
would be way harder to go that way.
And the analog one is at the back of the property and going downstream, going left, not behind the skating club.
Right.
So,
heading
okay,
towards Granger.
purgatory.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wouldn't you need approval of the real estate company for
Would we need approval for that?
Yes.
the real estate company?
Yeah, whoever owns it.
I
Yeah.
guess they're pretty tough. For the skating club anyway, they were.
Yeah.
We did approach them to buy a piece of property at the back of their parcel, but that was 3 years ago, maybe.
Yeah.
They never really said no, but it just kind of died on the vine. But this would be a one-time easement to allow like
Yeah.
a one-time visit.
We've done that before with like walks.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I wouldn't
okay.
expect to have any issue with about it. It's obviously the right thing to do to ask.
I have to go like on a week
Yeah.
or something.
Yes, I-
And nice.
The other thing relative to all that I didn't mention is if the cribbing for the Vanderbilt, we might, if we have the right vehicle, we could maybe even drive right from Vanderbilt all the way up to the site, because it's pretty wide. Like a small little ATV, we could probably just drive there and pull a little trailer. But, or we could
Trail?
use carts and rope, yeah, along the trail.
Oh.
Coming in from the elbow at Vanderbilt, that's pretty flat, wide and open. The large airport trench, that's gonna have some dips and it's gonna be some trees, so it's narrow at points, so that's not as viable. But the North Runway trench, that would, that's right across from Signal Hill. And that one has cribbing, so that one, we could drive probably right up to the edge of the river and you can see from the road / trail, the dirt road that makes up the Signal Hill Trail, you can see where we're gonna put the bridge. So we just gotta paddle across from there. The middle airport trench is gonna be like 1/8 of a mile, it'd be probably shorter coming from Signal Hill, shorter walk than coming all the way from Meadow Street, but. And Joe's already talked to the trustees there on Signal Hill and they're on board from an approval standpoint, but we'd have to let them know and notify them about dates and times and stuff. And
Yeah.
They might have to open up a pipe gate or, a chain at a between some posts first to be able to drive in there.
What about cost vehicles?
Koski's can get us to Nick's Bridge. So that means, and before Nick's Bridge is where the canoe is.
Yeah.
So they could probably help us get from, either from their property or from Meadow Street if they could drive through the sewer easement up to the boats. And that's not too far from the end of the Green Trail. So it'd get us from the end of the Green Trail to the large airport trench. It's still gonna be like over a quarter mile, probably about 3/8 of the mile. So that'll be carrying or floating or both, some combination.
Bless you.
But like Jerry said, you get enough bodies to carry the stuff in, it's fine. Jerry was a little reluctant to have too many people when we're doing the building and construction. Like 10 people is like
Let's say.
the best. It's any more than that, people are just in the way, you know. But carrying's a different story, you know.
You need as many as you can get.
Yeah, otherwise the same people are
Right.
doing multiple trips.
Mm.
If you get it done in one trip, all the better.
How heavy are these things that you're going to be carrying?
A 6-foot 4x6 is probably 30 pounds. So that's, you know,
Mhm.
one per person. And there's going to be a lot of this cribbing built. But again, we can probably throw as many as 6 or so in a canoe.
Yeah.
And 2 people can paddle that down. So that can go 6 at a time. And for those of you who haven't been out in a canoe, it's a lot faster paddling there than it is walking.
Yeah.
Even if you're walking carrying nothing, you're going with the current, and the current isn't that strong anyhow. So going back isn't a big deal unless it's windy, or it's been pouring and the currents.
Yeah.
Flowing.
Dave's really got me thinking about the bicycle trail.
Yeah, still got to go up and down the
I
hills.
have one.
Yeah. Well, we do have there's some sort of a pull cart that Adams Farm has. They said we could use. I haven't seen it. I don't know how viable it is. One of the things I want to do on slow days, now that the weed whacking is done, is do any widening from Meadow Street to the large airport trench so that any places that might be a choke point, we can get around it easier. But if there is a choke point, you know, we just might have to unload, get the cart through it somehow, reload, even if it was a wheelbarrow, you
The
know.
big tree, you notice it was down, especially in light of the poison ivy. Is there any help DPW can give us with it?
I'm gonna reach out to Jack Collins, see if I can do it, but yeah, that would be a viable option. I had gone out with Jack Collins and we cut all the blowdowns, and one of them honestly was at least 3 feet in diameter.
Wow.
Some of you have seen pictures of it, that Jack cut. He's got a 20-inch chainsaw. And so we did from Analog all the way to Granger. Everything was cut. The last day I weed whacked the last time, I went through that half of that leg, and there were like at least 3 trees that had fallen down since then. Nothing major, nothing we probably couldn't even handle with the little 16-inch battery chainsaw. It was all laying on the ground except one. I sent some pictures to people of that one. And that one was covered with poison ivy too, so I was cutting it with my loppers and carefully lifting these pieces off to the side, but it was, but we won't have to go down most of that section. So
Wow. It's a test.
I don't know what else you got to add to that, Joe, except that maybe the PO might be this week, so the delivery could be as early as this week.
Yeah, we're hoping to get the purchase order over to Home Depot. We had to go through and get 3 different quotes from 3 different vendors, and it was way too painful. But the PO we have, with a few exceptions that we can just add to it, but the purchase order that we have is for all the known materials. So for these first 6 that have been approved, but for everything else as well. So,
And we are gonna want to line up a sliding compound miter saw at the bay of the garage to cut the 4x6s, and a hammer drill, an electric hammer drill, and so that we can drill through these 4x6s. Battery powered hammer drills are just not gonna work. They're gonna The last time I tried to do a 5/8 hole through a 4x4. I think I did 2 holes and I went through the entire battery. So you need real AC power to drill these things.
You mentioned that Midas saw. Can you talk to Chris Cassavant about that? Okay, if you don't mind. No, you're going. Should have started with this, but you're away next weekend.
October 24th, I'm going to Europe for a couple of weeks, so I will miss any, if things stay on schedule, the initial bridge construction, but I can help out on any of the pre-cutting or any of that stuff.
Okay, great.
Or if we, put the sleepers down ahead of time in advance, which can help do that. And Jerry's here back the 15th. So
Next week or tomorrow.
Oh,
Yep.
Beautiful. So we can use the Doopy level to really make sure we're putting the sleepers in the right place. So it'd be good to have him around for that. And even if we can't get to these sites in the short term, we can access them all with the canoe. So only 3 of the bridges probably would need canoe access to get to the far side of it. The Vanderbilt, we could always walk in from the 2 ends, but so we can get those little sleepers in place way before I go to Europe. Oh, and the other note is Joe and I pulled all the tools out of I'll call it this crib we have stored in the light department on Central Street, and we charged up all the batteries, I think, so that all the batteries for all the tools we bought to do all this work are all fully charged.
Right.
So I did send this around when I sent out the agenda, but that at the bottom of our calendar for September, October, November, these dates are rough and we had put these together a month ago, but we're still cross our fingers that we're still on track for this October 24, 25, 26, the end of next week for the Ledge Trench. And we had just kind of arbitrary for the purpose of this calendar, but we had put together another calendar series of events for next month for November to do the second trench. This says, both of these say site work at Ledge Deposit Trench, but one of them only because we weren't sure if we were going to do Vanderbilt, which one we were going to do first, Vanderbilt or Neponset. So, but it's basically just a kind of a carbon copy. We're going to get all the material at once to satisfy both of these.
So are we on track then for some of us to meet up at Winter Street middle of next week? Kind of start.
We'll know by the end of this week when
Let us know, like,
the PO, yes.
and what will we be doing, like cutting?
The only thing we need to do there is just cut the 4x6s, so it only needs to be like a couple of people, and then drill the holes. So if we only have one saw, that's 2 people tops, and if we only have one drill, that's 1 person tops. But if we had 2 drills, we'd be able to do have 2 people drilling at the same
So
time.
the weekend you've got scheduled for site work is, we're gonna be at a family reunion, so I'm hoping we could at least participate some, so
Mm.
I'd like to be part of it, putting it together.
Okay, great. Thank you. What else? Just while we're on this page, so just to finish this subcommittee section here. So trail marking, wayfinding, we touch base on that. Tire trail status, check. Trail maintenance / work parties, we talked about that. I did add, we don't have to talk about it tonight, but I did add item D here that we do need to talk about. Let's make sure we touch base on that in November for planning, future planning
Where's this one?
on the agenda 5D.
Oh, doesn't succession usually, isn't like an ecological thing that just takes care of itself as the trees succeed?
Maybe, but in this case,
You're talking planting, not planning.
it won't take care of itself. So we need to talk about this.
CLA and
Was that?
CLA and
That's succession.
No, I get that, but like succession, there's like ecological succession where the
It's
trees kind
not
of
the
like,
ecological.
they float into the area, and then they kind of, different species take over from
I
other
think it's
species.
the human.
Nice try,
Yeah.
Brian.
Yeah. Okay, so that's a November item. We have a whole bunch of things to talk about as far as completed events, but just while we're looking at this calendar recently, I'm going to ask Lee to talk about the scavenger hunt for a second. Last weekend was the Recreation Department pumpkin float. Tonight's meeting, November 15th, the Norwood School Health Council Wellness Fair.
It's a scavenger hunt if anybody's interested. This is one of the papers.
So that's it. Lee, do you want to catch us up on the scavenger hunt? If you don't mind.
The scavenger hunt from the library, is that?
From the library,
Okay,
yes.
so.
Yep.
The scavenger hunt from the library, for the week for the month of October involves 3 different levels of scavenger hunts. And the library coordinated putting this together. I don't know if this is coming through on the owl
I
because
see, because the,
Your
Joe's,
laptop cover might be
laptops.
blocking it.
hello there.
oh, I'm sorry.
There we go. There we go. Can we see
Yep.
that? now?
Hold
There you
it
go.
up, hold it up next to your head.
There we go.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Anyway, you can find these at the library through the month of October. They're supposed to be completed in October. Theoretically, you form a team and you go out into the community. They are, I'll just pick up one. There are questions along, there's a number of questions that deal with different aspects of the town. The Old Perry Cemetery has a question. The Morse House has a question. There's scavenger hunt items that you could complete at the library itself. For instance, I had submitted this question, which is on the easy scavenger hunt from the trail committee that says, while enjoying a walk with friends on the blue trail of the new Meadow Street property trail, which I think I have right here, this map, that while walking with friends on the blue trail of the new Meadow Street trail map, what recreational equipment is found on the Composite River bank?
A canoe. Oh.
The Babel canoe, you're right. So it's pretty straightforward and easy to do. There's each of these have at least one trail related question to it.
Well done.
So that's what this is the second year they've done it, and we participated in it. So that's the essence of our contribution to the library scavenger hunt.
And if anybody has any questions, who at the library can they see?
Those are available both at the circulation and the reference desk.
Okay,
So
thank you.
Either point, you can get information.
I don't know if it's actually on the site.
So that's
Okay, but it runs the whole month of
the
October.
whole month.
Okay, great. Thank you. And let's see. Do you want to talk about the Pumpkin Fest while you're at the microphone,
Okay.
please?
The pumpkin float and lantern walk at the that the rec department hosted for the community occurred on this past Saturday, and it went from 6 o'clock to 7:30 officially, but there were actually people on the trail well before 6 o'clock and well after 7:30. It seemed like people were just like coming all the time to do this lantern walk part of it. We didn't count specifically, but I know with the Trails Committee, Joe was there, Marguerite was there, and also Beth Young was there. So the 4 of us, we were very busy with directing people
Yeah, lanterns.
handing out lanterns, taking lanterns
Fun.
back
It was
in,
fun.
and they weren't on the table more than a minute or two before they went out again. So it was quite a successful event in terms of people experiencing walks and the Andine system. I have to thank the staff at the rec department, all the staff for setting up pumpkin lighting and other elements on the trail. It was a beautiful night. So,
You know what we ought to do in the future is like, there's the Jamaica Pond lantern walk, and part of that is like everybody makes their own lanterns.
Mm.
I wonder if next year we could have an event like at the library the week before where we like lead people
Oh, that-
through making a lantern.
That's a thought.
good idea.
Good thought.
There were a couple of people that did bring classic lanterns.
This is the ones
too,
that like
yeah.
the instructions that like get sent out that most people follow for the Jamaica Pond walk is like, it's a 2-liter soda bottle cut in half, covered in tissue paper. You throw a electric tea light in there. You
Yeah,
put
yeah.
a pipe cleaner handle, and you're good. You know. But
Well, that's a
that could
good
be a
idea.
fun like library and craft event to have.
Yeah.
You know, ahead of time for that.
I think we have a volunteer to lead that effort.
Absolutely. I don't say anything without volunteering, understanding that. I know that.
And Marguerite,
Not trying to be an ideas.
can you help us with this
I
photo?
can, oh, this one. This is where we were handing out lanterns. Beth was doing a magic act. She'd say, now watch, I can turn the light on. If I use the magic word abracadabra, and she'd pull up the covering of the light and it would come on and the kids would be fascinated. And some of them wanted to do it themselves.
Look at the
Um,
focus of that. Beautiful.
They had a
Yeah.
good time.
Like a moth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gone the light.
Yeah, I love
As-
the.
As far as we know, we didn't leave any little munchkins in the
I
trail.
didn't think we
so-
left anybody on the trail. At least they didn't make any noise if it did. But
There you go.
I
Yeah.
remember
Joe
last
went-
year being so stressed out about getting all the lanterns back.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Actually, we did better than last year about getting the
Oh,
lanterns back.
Much better.
We started with 20. We came back with about 27. So the others came from the jack o' lanterns along the way. But everybody had a grand time.
Yeah.
Some people brought their own flashlights, and
Yeah.
most of them wanted the flashlights that Beth was magically making appear.
We did have people from Walpole were there, people
Yeah.
from Westwood came over, and it was definitely a great hundreds, I don't know,
I think,
hundreds of people.
I think it had easily a couple hundred people, maybe more than that.
I'm just
I
gonna,
think we had probably 200 to 300 people
Yeah,
walking over the course of the 2 hours.
yeah, it was really
Incredible.
well attended and
um,
great enthusiasm. The kids were just so excited. The parents were excited. And some of them hadn't been on this trail before. Some of them had.
Hmm.
But they were just so excited to be out in the dark.
How would you make it better next year?
Huh?
Other than custom land?
Good. I didn't quite hear your question.
How would you make it better next year? Were you overwhelmed with 200 people?
We
I
could
think-
have a few more trails committee volunteers.
Yeah, yeah,
A
no,
couple
that's
more
good. But,
tables, maybe.
well, I think it worked out pretty well.
People are the key.
Yeah, it was, because they didn't come in a swarm. They came, one family, another family, and so forth. So that managing the crowd wasn't an issue. And everybody was excited about being there and just glad to be back, in the outdoors in the dark.
So what works don't fix it.
So actually, Joe took out the first group on the trail that left from the table, but then after that, we just kept letting people go
Yeah,
as soon as they got their lanterns.
I think that was a better way to go than trying to organize a walk. Because I think that would have been,
Too many.
well, first of all, here she comes herself. Hey, Beth. But I think that it went well, and using that, we didn't get a large mass of people moving through the trail. So a lot of people got to see things that they might not have seen.
Oh,
Otherwise,
I
have
see,
seen.
yeah.
Yeah,
You wouldn't have enough staff anyway.
not that way.
Yeah.
Hey, Beth.
We're just watching the film here.
How was that?
There you are. There you are.
Mesmerize the young one.
Beth Young.
Beth Young is here.
Yeah.
And I did,
Magician?
I did not recognize when Craig came in, so welcome aboard, Craig.
Quiet tonight.
I look a little crazy.
Nice sweatshirt there, Beth.
Nice. So yeah, and I did talk to Marie Kidd afterwards. Marie did a great job coordinating it, losing sleep, taking Tylenol, but it really worked out well. I did talk to her afterwards about the possibility of doing a winter walk at night, maybe headlamps
Yeah.
or lanterns,
Yeah.
snowshoes or cross-country skis optional, whatever. That might be a good one.
Go with a
Infamous
full moon.
owl walking episode.
Full-
Yeah.
One of these days we'll get it.
Yeah.
Mm.
But doing it the night of a full moon would make it really
Mm.
kind of special.
Yeah.
We did one
We've
of
been
those.
talking about that for years.
We did one of those over at Bird Park a few weeks ago, and that was very popular.
I think there was one comment, Vic, about an improvement to this particular event was that there was a full moon. It would have been exciting.
Yeah.
Did we, I don't think we did it the year prior, but did we like mark the route at all this year? Or we just?
No.
The only marking really was the plastic pumpkins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah.
I'm back with Vic, you know. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
It's working.
Um,
And at a certain point, there's
Oh.
enough people out there that like, you know.
The lights.
And we did
Yeah.
give out scavenger hunt
Oh, excellent.
papers. They were
It's gonna
very
be tough on a cold October night, but
well.
get your butterfly.
People did them. People
Oh,
were
great.
taking
Flashlight.
Was there a prize?
Oh, nothing. Just the satisfaction
Those
of
things
doing
drive
it.
me crazy because the kids cheat.
But
I know you didn't see a butterfly. It's a cold October night. I know you didn't see it.
one kid even brought them back. That was about it. But the rest of the people took them.
there was one picture I wanted to find here. Let's see,
Bless you.
let's sneeze. Did I say let's sneeze?
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm just gonna kind of rapid fire go through some of these other photos here. Completed events. We were invited to the Clay Subaru Touch a Truck last 2 weekends ago.
Mhm.
Lee manned the booth and Marguerite and Gene and Brian.
I think.
You didn't get to that. That's right. And Joe, you were there.
Yeah.
So anybody want to chime in on that?
The Norwood Public Schools had somebody who came and set up the table and the tent for us, so maybe that was super. So it was a matter of going and sitting and talking and sharing.
Yeah.
It was good.
Good. And we made some pretty good contacts, not only with Clay Subaru, but also with community members. Was that well attended,
See?
did we think?
There were a lot of people from out of town, but the big gain was developing a relationship with Clay Subaru because the next day or 2 days later, I think is when Yash met with the general manager of Clay Subaru and got the bridge funded.
Mhm.
Another kiosk
Yeah.
that his Eagle Scout project is going to do. So
Great.
it sounds like we got a very eager
Supportive.
supporter, good term, from the general manager of Clay Subaru going forward for
Excellent.
projects.
Okay, great. Great.
Oscar.
Oscar. So that was that one. Let's see what else I can find here. Let's touch a truck. Couple of happy Farmers Market booth workers here. It's a cameo. Yes, Justin Bieber attended the senior center approaching,
Next chapter.
yeah, the next chapter, approaching retirement seminar.
Tonight?
I'm sorry.
Beaver, make it tonight?
Sorry, you'll just have to wait. Just wait. So we were invited
See him in attendance.
among other things. This past month, we were invited to table at the senior center event. What'd you say? Approaching retirement?
Next chapter.
Next chapter, approaching retirement. So it was pretty informative. There was a lot of noise in the hall, I thought. So they had two speakers talk about Social Security and Medicare, which would have been informative if you could like follow along and like actually hear the two speakers. I think it just in hindsight, they could either table and then stop and then present and then table again, but they tabled throughout and there was a lot of noise. But anyway, Justin appreciated the information that he got. And
So Justin isn't planning on retiring.
well, he's might be looking for warmer climes. Yep.
Here's, Joe, are you gonna talk about the other event that occurred simultaneously that night?
Which was
The school back to school night at Prescott that we also
STEM.
hosted.
oh yeah, I don't have any pictures of that, but why don't you?
So that was, curiously, that particular night, our committee actually staffed that event, but we also, at the same time, staffed the back to school night at the Prescott School event. A few of us, I think Beth was part of that, and myself and Chris, did you? No, you weren't there.
Craig?
Craig, yeah. You, Craig. So the three of us, we staffed a table at that event, which is sort of similar to prior events that we've staffed on their STEM night. And so it was attended by the students and the students' parents. And we did interface with a number of other groups that were there too. Tech department, I think, was there, and some others. So, what was it?
Children's librarian.
Yeah, librarian. So, so it was again crossing a number of different groups and supporting each other on hikes and stuff. But I do want to read this thank you note that the principal from Prescott School sent to us right after that. So I received this at Town Hall right after the event, and I will just read this. It says, Norwood Trails, a big thank you for attending Prescott's back to school night last week. Already, 2 families shared that they visited the Meadow Trail just this past weekend. Thank you for your continued efforts on behalf of our great town. Brian Riley, Principal.
Great.
So
nice.
thank you, Brian.
I love the guy.
Do you mind? Do you mind shipping that around if you don't mind, please? Thank you.
And I would have
Great.
said that STEM night's a better night to go because it was kind of weird because the kids were all going to visit their teachers and it was kind of a distracted night. But we did get a lot of people. over.
As somebody who goes to back to school nights, it must be nice to have something else to do rather than some teacher and make it a community event too.
And they get free ice cream, too.
Yeah.
Not-
Oh,
That's key.
Cleveland's got to step up.
Yeah. Okay.
Before you switch gears, Lee just made me think of something that I wanted to mention when he was talking about the farmer's market. About a week ago, the same day as the farmer's market, I was doing some work down at Vanderbilt, and my heart was warmed to see 2 people separate times, one when I was showing up and one like a half an hour later, just park their car at Vanderbilt and walk into the trails out of the blue. And I think there's an excellent chance that they happen to be at the farmer's market table, got the map and decide to go down there right then, there and today. But I'm starting to see more and more people down at Vanderbilt just walking in there, and it's good that people are starting to hit the trails. I know people have been going to Meadow Street too, because that's, during the past month, I saw a couple pull up in really nice car. They pulled up at the pipe gate, they got out, they walked in, when I was loading up, so. Hey, that, I believe that day was another day that happened to be the same day that the farmer's market was going on, so.
So it was our goal to have really nice cars parked outside everybody else.
There you go.
That's how you know you've made it.
Yeah,
Not so much though these last couple of weeks, but over the summer or for at least like 6 weeks in a row at the farmer's market, every week there was somebody that was either from out of town and they worked in town, or they were visiting and they knew they would be coming back, so they were interested. But equally, every week there was somebody new that moved into town. Like at least one person moved into town and wanted to go for a walk and wanted to know where the trails were. And then you've got Vic's friends who kept saying, I never knew there were trails in town. So I've lived here 30. There was one woman who on the pumpkin float the other night, the pumpkin float walk, that she said she lived in town 30 years and she never knew that the trails were
Still
around.
there.
They are
Yeah.
there.
By the way, just, on Meadow Street, if we do have a big event down there sometime, town does own that lot right at the end of the street, so we could park there, do you think, if we got permission?
Yeah. It's conservation land, so,
Yeah,
yep.
in case we have a big event there.
there's plenty of street parking,
Yeah.
it's,
It's a public.
Yeah.
town
road,
owns
huh?
a street
Yeah,
too,
it's a
so
public road.
it's probably better off just having people
Well, I'm
right on
looking
the
at
street.
hundreds of people.
Yeah.
There you go.
Popcorn machine.
There you go. Perfect.
True optimist.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, there is a reported walk on November 2nd that I saw a flyer for.
I saw Joe Greeley was interested in it. On
And
Facebook.
but I did get it's not a memorial walk. It's a,
Not yet.
it's a tribute, not yet. But that same person who posted it also asked me if we wanted to, and if we could turn it into like a monthly community walk. So I'll leave that there, and if you want to give that some thought.
That's what we do.
Also, I'm just kind of rapid firing through these photos here, but last month we took 8 to 10 people out on Meadow Street. We walked around, got to see Nick's Bridge again in all its glory. 5, there's 8, but I think there were 2 people. One person took the picture, and there was another person who declined to be in the photo. So we had 10 people out on the walk. That was a good one.
I like the variety of gear in that photo.
There's
Yeah.
there's definitely, yep. It's definitely a wardrobe event there. You got the bees, you got camo, you got, yep. Do have a couple of other pictures. I already showed that one.
They're in the bench.
Yeah,
Quality controlling.
Take a seat, Marguerite.
Yeah,
yeah, there we are.
yep. That's a keeper. This one we showed our magician, our in-house magician.
So much fun with.
It was fun.
It was really good.
And then let me get to Joe Barrett sent me an email with, want to talk about your alumni event?
Sure.
This one or the other one? Which one should I? Yeah, the 2-pager.
2-pager.
So not the links. Highlights?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So everyone's got hard copy of this.
Yep.
It's kind of on 2 pages. So, man, I feel old. I had my 50th class reunion on Saturday. Otherwise,
Oh,
I would have been at the pumpkin float, because I think that is the coolest event. So, but the guy on the left of this picture, Paul Keopa Chope, is Linda's wife. Linda, you guys have met. She's in the blue coat there, and she's helped us work on the trails. Chope and I graduated high school together. All these people are from the class of 75, except Doug Bean, who's got the beard in the background. It was Sunday at 12 o'clock. It was originally going to be at 1, but surprise, surprise, the Patriots beat the Bills. So they moved the game from 4 to 1. Good thing we moved it up because of the rain that came in. And the night before was a class reunion. They had a breakfast Sunday morning that people went to. Most of these people went to. And we went out on a hike at noontime. It rained right up until 10 minutes of 12. But we knew at 12 it was going to clear up. And it was pretty clear the whole way. You can see.
It was a drizzle, isn't
Yeah.
it? It's
Yeah.
really nice, I
You
guess.
You can see it's a little wet. So that's where we took off at the start of Vanderbilt. If you scroll down, I did some pictures of the highlights. That's our friend Chris, who wasn't in that other picture because he took it. But he found a turtle by the beaver dam, which we assumed was alive, but Chris, I'll let
Very
you
dead.
talk about the turtle.
It was very dead.
Hmm.
Smelled real bad.
Oh,
Hopefully by the end of winter, it'll clean itself out and we'll have a new addition to the farmer's market table.
Cool.
There you go.
I know the
Good.
kids always really like the turtle shells.
uh-huh.
And that was right by the dam that's on Trap Hole Brook. And I just added some annotations here. So to kind of point out that the beaver pond is about a good 4 feet higher than where Trap Hole Brook is, where it ends the river. So it built that pond behind it. And then if you scroll down to page 2, you'll see some rubbish that got picked up. So these guys are holding, Deidre is holding a bucket full of rubbish, and Dave on the left is holding a flower vase that was down by the large Vanderbilt ranch full of rubbish. And he's got something under his right arm, and he's laughing about it because Deidre said, "What's that? What's under Dave's arm?" I said, "It's a floor mat from a car from the old Norwood Arena. We should stand on it." So
Yes.
I originally just had the picture on the right, but I said, I can't lose that picture of those guys laughing.
Right.
But
Dave's
that's
family owned the Norwood Arena, right? Or ran it? Or
his father worked there.
Okay.
His father worked at Hollingforth in Bose, but he had like a nighttime job.
Okay.
He's like an accountant, so I think he did the books for them. But that mat that he's standing on was, you'd have to be like my age or older to even remember plastic like that. And it was so firm and so hard and so unpliable.
Mhm.
And I've been walking by that for years out there at the Naponton Road down at Vanderbilt, and Dave grabbed it and that's it. It's gone now.
Excellent.
There's no arena.
Yeah, no, and Arena was right down there.
On to the big.
Oh, right afterwards, of course, we blamed his father for a lot of what we saw. There's like some car doors that are rusted out that are down there. and-
And all the wheels and tires. I was like, Dave,
Yeah.
it's your fault, man.
And she's from your class too, Joe?
She is, yeah. Deidre Murphy,
She looks so young
Kevin Murphy.
compared to you.
Yeah. Well, actually, at the class reunion, we were sitting at the bar together because she let her hair get all white and it looked awesome. Right, Beth? Looks great.
Back to the third. There was one other picture.
That's funny.
Back to the third.
It was also fun to see Doug out of his natural habitat of Meadow Street.
It was the
on different
first time.
trails.
Yeah.
First time there, he was psyched.
That's
Yeah.
Hey, wait. Did he have to bring his passport or something?
Yeah. He did not bring Connie.
When Brian and I were on Meadow Street the last time doing some stick cleanup, we met a gentleman who had a machete.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, what? And he goes, well, people put up these hunting sheds, hunting blinds, and they choke off the tree. So I bring the machete so I can just chop them down. I see him.
Well, and he's like coming at us, right, with the machete.
right. That's what you needed, right?
He identified himself. He's one of the guys that has the license to hunt the deer that
Yeah, he's a
go
bow
on the
hunter.
airport.
Oh,
And so he's out there, advising people, and runs across somebody that's hunting that does not have permission. He lets them know
Yeah.
they're not supposed to be
With the
there.
machete.
Well,
And
Machetes
finds
for
these
the
blinds and stuff. He's been doing that.
the illegal
Kind of-
blinds. that
you know,
they
cut 'em
put up
loose.
to choke off the trees.
So it's kind of neat, to run across somebody to talk to them about.
Another another event, but, do you want to talk about your Sunday? What you did on Sunday? How I spent my summer vacation on Sunday?
You mean like walking trails outside of Norwood?
Outside of Norwood, yes.
Is that Ilex in the back?
Yep.
That is in fact
Oh, I
Ilex,
was gonna say.
and right in front of Ilex is Joseph Sheehan.
Oh, yeah.
And a hearty band of 11 of us did a walk that I've been doing from time to time in Walpole called the Farm to Farm Walk, where we meet up at Jarvis Farm and leave Jarvis Farm fairly early, about 8 o'clock, and walk on basically the Bay Circuit route over to Adams Farm, all in Walpole.
How far is that?
A little over, I'm glad you asked. It is a little over 10 miles.
I
And
thought it was a long way.
we took 4 hours.
Wow.
We arrived at the barn at noon,
Wow.
and we had one of the significant others pick up some calzones for a group lunch, and
Mm.
everybody was fed.
Excellent.
Good walk.
We got in like right as the rain was starting to drizzle in Walpole.
Very good.
Joe's got the
So 10 point,
Joe's-
route.
The route, yeah.
10 point-
So the Jarvis Farm is at the bottom and Adams Farm is up at the end.
Are you crossing the water? You're crossing the water here, like at the school that's there? Is this where the railroad tracks are? No, I'm thinking of further
Well,
down.
we
That's
go
like
through, we
Washington
go
Street.
under
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
commuter rail on 27.
Yeah,
There are a couple, there are a number of interesting boardwalks that does cross wetlands.
yeah.
So right off out of Jarvis Farm, there's probably the longest boardwalk there over fairly good sized wetlands.
Yeah, that's a beautiful boardwalk.
Have you done the new trail up at the Adams Farm?
Mhm.
How is that?
Beautiful.
Short.
Mrs. Warren's trail?
Yeah.
Goes through
Warren,
her property,
yeah.
yeah.
It's real short. You're in and out in under an hour.
Well, the time to do it is daffodil season. It used to be a daffodil
So,
walk there.
yeah, there are daffodils there in the
Oh,
springtime.
he used to
Ah,
categorize every daffodil and he would,
So
So proud of
also
him.
that
That's
goes
swallowing,
down
yeah.
to the water at
yes.
Willett Pond.
Yeah, well,
And then on a small pond,
Peninsula.
I guess you
yep,
would call it,
peninsula, yep.
of maybe a couple hundred yards.
There's a rope swing out there too into the water.
And,
They-
and out on that little peninsula, there's a rise with an old foundation on it.
That was her reading area.
And if you look straight up, there's an eagle's nest
wow.
on the tree.
That's where it is.
That's
Yeah.
where it
'Cause I
is.
see the eagle every so
You should
often.
go. It's incredible.
Yeah,
to
there's
see
like
them.
there's 2 or 3 eagles and I see them up at St. Tim's.
But that's before the kids, or whoever did destroy it. That's where she used to get down to read. That was a solitude place.
Oh,
He also caught someone who chopped down like a 20-foot Christmas tree
Oh, no.
and they dragged it across New Pond and they could follow it to where Tota was.
oh,
It's frozen.
Yeah, it was frozen.
oh,
And they got in big trouble.
Herself.
Imagine that 20-foot Christmas tree.
Put that in the animals.
Yeah.
yeah.
She was an interesting woman.
I'm not quite sure what I'm gonna do with this, but I was out on, where did it go?
You might have to download it then.
So you want to go down to the player window?
Oh, yeah, there
Yeah, there you go.
there you go.
Right.
All right, I'm gonna stop.
Wow.
Oh, your favorite spot?
Stop. Let me get the full effect.
There you
So I took 3 of these the other day, but like this time of year especially. And you can tell by the footfalls that it's not somebody who's,
Nice to see the leaves on the trail.
Yeah.
Permanently.
did a 180 there. I don't,
Horrible.
you know,
Is this pause? Or-
this is Vanderbilt.
You walking backwards, Joe?
I am walking backwards.
Yeah.
So I did 3 of those. I had way too much spare time on it.
Get the auto video?
Huh?
Do you have the auto video?
I can do that.
Picture this, what you're supposed to do when you retire. I think that's wonderful.
Uh,
Take
Take
videos out in
videos.
the woods of your feet crunching.
Don't forget Thursday night, you see Joe's pictures.
that's
There we
right.
go. Oh, that's right.
Oh, yeah.
At the tax place.
So it's swimming across the far edge.
Right there.
Oh, yeah.
Where is that?
That's at the
That's
North
the airport.
Runway
See the
Meadow.
stumps?
Yeah.
You'll recognize the stump spot.
But there's another one with 3 otters and they're like making this really loud. It sounds like a
Wow.
bird screeching sound.
That's great.
And to see the 3 of them, they're popping their heads up and looking around, kind of like, more like what you see.
Somebody was telling me there were otters in Ellis Pond, and they're harassing the ducks, having a grand time.
That I posted it on the Google Drive. If you can't find it.
Just want to make sure it's still good.
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
It's a good wildlife cam.
Yeah,
Yeah, so Doug Bean found, took 2 videos, 2 different hikes, 2 different times of the same day. 1 otter in that video clip, and then 3, and he thinks there were 4, but he didn't get the 4th one in the
Wow.
photo later on the same day. That was the day before the hike, the 11th, right? And I ended up pressed for time. I had to do something on Vanderbilt before the hike. And I wanted to go there, but I didn't think I'd have time. I went to Granger, came in from Granger, and I walked past the 2 otter dens that we found to see if I could find them. And no cigar, no luck. But
Where did you post this?
go to there's photos, plants and animals. There'll be a videos folder at the top. Go to videos and that auto with Yelps. Yeah, that one.
Oops.
Hear that noise? That's the otters making that noise.
Sounded like a bird.
Yeah, it did.
That's cool.
fantastic.
I wanted to, let's see, Brian just threw out some stuff. He didn't throw what?
Yeah, I wanted to, when Joe talks about picking up sticks, it's not just a matter of a couple of things scattered, they're dense. And they're on that U Street connection. And so,
But that means it cut a lot.
and there were a couple of them that, the sticks are really vines that need to be clipped and
Pulled out,
dried up. And
yeah.
that's what I'm doing there. I'm twisting that to try and, the root is, it's got an angle.
It's great.
So it's quite a lot involved.
It's a
Um,
huge help when those are there because I weed whack right over that stuff. And
Right.
if they're not there, I can get a much better cut.
I think I
It says
sent
a
you
trip hazard.
a photo of the Subaru thing too. Hopefully that got through.
Um, just a real quick update. Joe had mentioned that Clay Subaru is helping Yash with his Eagle project. So Brian, to your point, Yash is using this Makana design, the one that's at Father Max.
Yeah, I had asked because on the subsequent slides, you show he's got 2 options at each site. And so Gene and I went out over the weekend and looked at each of the sites and, kind of get our idea. We polled some people, like at Meadow Street, there were people actually on the trail. We talked to 5 people to say, where do you think it should be of the 2 choices? And we got their opinions. But I was looking at it, and when I looked at his layout with the 4 feet, I was like, gee, I thought I remembered the footprint as being wider than that. And so we actually measured, and it is wider. The McKenna's is wider than 4 feet. It's not a lot wider, but it's like, 4 feet 5 inches. is what we're cutting.
434 says right there.
And so I didn't know if there was a redesign to make it fit within the 4 feet.
I don't know.
If that was just a rough
Those,
estimate of where the post should go.
all of these are good questions and you should,
And I will talk to Yash.
Yeah, okay.
Or the Yash and his scout.
Yep.
I imagine it's just because the plexiglass comes at 4 foot lengths. You know?
Well, but I'm
Yeah,
just saying
could
the
be.
4 foot length is what fits inside the frame, but the frame. So
Sure.
that's why.
so he does have a commitment to, help funding wise, to build 3 kiosks, one at, Meadow Street at the trailhead, one at, Ellis Field and one at Father Max in the parking lot. Right now we have one down below in the soccer field. So he put together this really slick outline. This is his, Scoutmaster Will Truitt, and some other random guy in the parking lot here. But we went out, I met them a couple of Sundays ago, and he went through each one of these 3 sites and picked 2 different locations and did all the measurements and came up with 2 different options, A and B. And then he sent this whole package to Carly for Meadow Street, Mark Ryan, and Chris Casavan, just to make sure, like in that first picture, is it too close to this electric pole or this electric box here? Just to make sure that before he puts the shovel in the ground, that everybody's on board with the location. Meadow Street, we're at the trailhead. Originally, you can barely see the pipe gate over here. Sorry. Pipe gate is on the other side of us over here. And while we were standing there, Doug actually walked by, and Doug, I turned to Yash and I said, okay, here's your time to give a 2-minute, Reader's Digest spiel to some random walker on the trail. So the first option is outside the pipe gate, but the first one is inside, right? Just to the right as you walk in. So
I was actually surprised when we did talk to people. There was I thought putting it on the outside so people that are coming up the street would see there's a trail there and everything. But other people says, I think that's going to make it more prone to vandalism.
Yeah.
So they,
Inside is better.
the 5 people that, and Gene, all think that it should be inside.
Yeah. Yep.
6.
So,
sold. So anyway, I thought this was pretty slick. He put this
Inside the thing.
inside the gate.
Inside the fire gate. that
So
they have
there's-
to open
in other
up
words,
for-
just.
There's the pipe gate right
That's
there.
gonna be harder to
So
dig.
parking out here.
It's gonna be
Gravel.
still-
Well, it's all gravel over there, but I think it looks so good outside the gate.
Yeah, if we could do more than one. that'd be
Who's
great.
gonna mess with?
Yeah, we're not gonna do more than
The
one.
same kind of people that wrote their names on the bench.
The one place. that
Yeah.
I
There's
wish
names on it. It's
The
not
one
that
place
big a
that-
deal.
Already,
That we couldn't,
It's like a guest book.
same kind of.
that we thought
That's what they thought.
They have too. is that Father Max, because having one near the playground would be wonderful, and then one near the parking lot. We could do 2.
Yeah.
Since he's only doing one, we'll give him our opinion on that.
Okay.
But,
I'm sure he'd appreciate that.
Then something to think for the future, because, some people are just there for the playground and they wouldn't go as far as the parking lot to see the kiosks.
Let's see, what else? I think we hit everything on the agenda. Anybody else have anything that falls within?
It's the minute thing, I don't know.
Oh,
No, I don't.
I did a little flyer for that class of 75 hike that was open to the public.
This one?
Right?
This one.
Yeah. And in the bottom, I had a little blurb about the Tayar Trail to kind of promote it, because none of those people, a lot of them wouldn't know about it because they don't live in town anymore. And I realized I looked online where we have the maps online on the website for the Trails Committee.
Yeah.
We should probably put that little post Tayar Trail description that shows the whole town with the map
Yeah.
around it,
I think people would
the
like
little
that.
explanation, because it'd be it's a good QR code for the desk at the farmer's market. It's good for a place for us to refer people to so they can get a little picture of it. And
Plus, we have it already done.
I think it was just an oversight not to have Kelly put it on the internet, on the website, but It's a suggestion.
Well, now was the yearbook called the tie out when you did in school?
It was, yes,
So they'll at least recognize the name.
right, but we knew it as Times in Our Town.
Oh,
Now it stands for trails in our town.
We weren't that creative back when I graduated.
I never got that one either.
So I was looking at your four-year file when you were talking about this. So which map would you want on the site?
this is townwide tie out.
You know, the map that we have that shows the whole entire trail, the east and west side of Route 1, the whole
That one.
town, it's got the, yeah.
Yeah, that
And
one.
it's got the paragraph on the bottom explaining what,
The one that everybody
Yeah.
wanted to
Yeah.
see when we were in the middle of town for Norwood Day.
So that is, I just closed it, but, so we wanted to distinguish between townwide and all
so
of,
it's there.
Yeah,
so it is there.
Okay, good.
But you never know it was there.
Yeah.
So maybe I don't know if there's a better way to do that, but
Well, do
The-
we want to have it on the trail map thing yet, since it's like a it's more of
it's
a,
an aspirational.
it's aspirational. in other words, it's
Good word for it.
Well, she could put a link
Yeah.
on this page that refers you to the other one. so
sure.
It's not a
It's
copy.
real in our heads.
The other
And
thing,
the folks who own land and don't want us there, it's not real.
it's real.
the other thing
walked it, yes.
I think the other thing we wanted to do when we
So is Joe. You had to cut 'em off.
when we put this up, let me just back up a second. When we put that up as a different option, I think the goal was to fill that album with other townwide stuff, photos or whatever.
Yep.
Or
That's fine, I didn't, if I knew it was there, I wouldn't have said it. I just looked at the link below it and said, oh, we don't have this. It's good that it's there. I'm fine with that.
do you want to put this class of 75 one on there? There's more
No.
verbiage on there.
But what I do like about that is whenever we do announcements, it's on the announcements, it's not the worst thing. Picture of a map, a little picture of the map, but that's a nice to have. It's not a need to have.
Okay. Anybody else before Vic talks about his members minute? Let's see, who wants to kick off our members minute discussion? Vic?
Well, I guess, not to be Debbie Downer, I'm not Debbie anyway, but, I have a situation here where I'm having a balance issue, having a lot of problems walking. And it turns out I've done extensive testing and I had Lyme disease, undetected.
Oh,
And if you catch it right away, they give you a 21-day treatment of
Yeah,
antibiotics and kills it. But if it's in your system for a long time, it can go to your nerves, your brain, your heart. And so they're still trying to determine whether my lack of mobility is because of
Yeah, well,
Lyme disease.
Carol's going through the same thing. You guys should talk.
Who?
My partner Carol.
Yeah.
Going
Oh,
through
is
the
she?
same thing.
Yeah, I have a couple big MRIs Saturday and then see the neurologist. But they're not sure yet. It's hard to diagnose, but I do definitely have it because I went through that testing for Lyme disease.
Interesting.
What made you do that?
Because I tried every test in the world to figure out why I can't walk very well.
Yeah.
And so he said, well, there's a Lyme disease test.
I can't believe they didn't do that right away. Like, I mean, spend all that time in the
No,
woods.
no, it's way down the list, neuropathy and all that stuff. And finally they said, well, we'll test the Lyme disease. Plus it takes a week to get the results.
Yeah.
And they said you definitely had Lyme disease at some time, and whether that's the cause of your neuropathy.
You still have it?
Well, I have a real bad balance issue, and it could be from Lyme disease.
Yeah.
Undetected, untreated, and been in me for a long time. So be careful out there.
Yeah.
That's my sad minute. But I'm still on this side of the green, so that's
Excellent. Good to hear you say that.
Yeah, I got a rollate. I got the carbon acre one, which is only 10 pounds versus 20 pounds.
Nice.
Yeah.
I call it freedom because now I can go
Yeah, 10 pounds.
places.
You
And it was
use the,
cheaper too, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
10 pounds is like a gallon of milk. so it's
Yeah.
not-
you use trekking poles to
Huh?
Have you used trekking poles?
Yeah, and
They didn't work for you.
they did, but then, I have I have a working one for outside when I'm working in the yard when I'm not supposed to. Then I have one called the Butler for inside, which is a smaller one. And then this one's for the special occasion.
Nice,
Trail meeting.
nice.
But it gives me an opportunity now to, with the poles, if I'm got a lot of people around, like Thursday night, I would never go with poles.
Mm.
But this protects me.
Yeah,
You know,
good point.
so
It's good.
if anybody has that problem out there and they're having a real problem with poles, look into these. There's all different types.
Mm.
And it's been my savior so far in the last 2 or 3 weeks.
Good.
Good
And
to
I'm
see.
even working on my Bernie Cooper path, the ending path. It has to be pretty good, but I get all terrain.
Tires?
Yeah,
You've been that route too.
yeah. But anyway, but that's my story, and so you got to be careful out there. And I'll update whether it was the reason I'm having such an issue walking, but it could be very well. It attacks the nerves and all that.
Mhm.
So,
Good to see you. Thanks for coming. Good to see you.
yeah.
And what's going on Thursday?
Joe's first photo. Thursday is at the tax. What's it? 647 is it?
I'm not sure. Something with numbers.
Anybody interested in great pictures? Joe Greeley's first public appearance pictures.
Scary. Scary but true.
A bunch of other artists, photographers from Norwood are going to be there from 4 to 8
Where's there?
this Thursday
At the
at the tax. Blah, blah, blah.
What?
It's at
we're
A tax
looking at
office?
that.
I'm pretty
Six-
sure I put it on my calendar.
642 Washington Street,
642 Washington Street.
The gallery. the Gallery of Tax Solutions, 4 to 8 p.m.
Tax Solutions, yeah.
Presented
Tax
images all around a photographic adventure presented by Norwood Art Walk, featuring local artists Dan Bustler, Jonathan Cardoni, Ken Dono, Jacob Logan, and some guy Greeley.
Last but
Tax
not least,
building on the first floor.
Really?
This-
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
So the date
Where-
again is
where in
this
Washington?
Thursday?
That's the
16
second or third business off
No.
from the common.
on the left hand.
Oh, okay.
16.
Yeah, next to the Dominican Barber.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one that's always busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And always open.
Beth. Moment.
There'll be wine
Members minute.
Well,
I'm
that-
familiar with gallery.
and canals or
I
something.
think it's,
Yeah.
Cheese
Cheese
Sh-
stuff.
Carl's.
Cheese
So
stuff.
Cheese
Whiz.
the stick, cheese sticks.
Cheese whiz.
Cheese
No,
whizzes.
no.
That's your members thing?
No. I went for hiking Natick last week and they have a lot more trails than we do and a lot more climbs than we do. The website, I mean, ours is so much better. Guys, I mean, I couldn't figure out where to enter the one at the Leonard Morris Hospital. I mean, I went up there and I got on it. But after I got on it, I was like, okay. And there were a bunch of arrows, but I ended up in the parking lot of an apartment complex. It was very weird. So
That's why wayfinding. is-
we're
Yeah.
doing a really good job and I thank you all.
Excellent. Thank you. We will have to get a frame for that one photo that Marguerite submitted at the pumpkin walk. Brian, do you have a member's minute?
Well, I did email you a shot of the booth at the Subaru there, so.
Oh, okay. Sticks or
Should say. Says NTAC at Subaru.
oh, you know why? Because I don't have that. You just sent it today?
I sent it at the same time I sent the us, Gene and I were just picking up stakes.
Yeah, okay, because I get the stick one. Just and you sent.
Like, well, I'm pretty sure I sent it to, here, let me see. That's a good question. Pretty sure I sent it to,
Looks like I don't,
Business one, but let's double check that.
They had some dogs that were available for donation. So they were
Yeah, no,
there,
I sent it to your
as well
government
as some
website.
other dogs that came on to the event. And it was really a good day. Now, it was hot, so the dogs liked under the tent.
Mhm.
And the people liked the ice cream.
Dogs would have liked the ice cream if they could have gotten
That's
it.
Yeah, the adults
Yeah, I
did
was
too.
gonna say that too, yeah.
Brian, sorry, I don't see it.
Yeah, that's weird. It's in my sent folder.
Um,
And it did go to your .gov.
let me check.
That's okay.
That's
Joe
all right.
gets
That's-
lots of stuff.
Joe gets
So, no, that's
way
like,
too
if we
much.
happen to have it, right? One for the archives, just a picture of us standing at the booth, the four of us. But
It'll blend in with the other 2,300
Yeah.
unopened
Oh,
emails.
that's all you got?
Well, in this account.
I got upwards of like 50,000 already.
That
Yeah,
a,
about
that
the
a
same
boy.
amount.
Any other comment? Okay, I don't know why that's not landing here. Craig? Hello, Craig. How's it going?
I had an unusual encounter. My wife was looking out the window and then said, "There's a great blue heron out there."
Oh, wow.
And so I look out, and sure enough, the edge of our woods was a great blue heron. And if you know where I live, I'm going, there isn't a pond for a mile around.
Yeah, right.
But there it was, and it crept or kind of like leaped up the ridge and then disappeared through Hennessy Field. Unfortunately, I had a camera, but I didn't get it up in time to provide evidence, but.
That's pretty well.
I believe you.
Of all the places to find one,
Yeah.
that would not have been my top 10.
Yeah, you could have said, well, this is why we need flood control in that area.
Yeah, I do.
Well, with all the
It's
spring, my
anticipated.
backyard gets wet, but it's not.
Yeah,
that wet.
He came there once
Occasionally
5
it
years
does.
ago. And it was fun.
Yeah.
Mr. Leach,
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Thank you.
thank you both. Marguerite?
It's fun going to those events. I can't lift 30 pounds of wood, but some of these other things I can do, and I'm glad to be able to do them. And we've had a young possum in our yard. I didn't know possums could climb trees, but one of them went. It was
I think they hang upside down off their tails.
Marsupials.
It was a little too wet and windy.
Mm.
I'm surprised to see him at all. But yeah, interesting. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Joby?
I'm good. Did all my stuff.
Okay, thank you. Chris?
I think I meant to say this last month, but I didn't make it to the meeting. If you want to talk about just the most whimsical trail markers ever, make your way in the Needham Town Forest to Martini Junction.
Oh, I know.
Oh, wow.
The trail mark, it's a real special spot. It's not on a major trail, it's not on an easy trail, but it's like a play spot for kids. And this guy who lives abutting the Needham Town Forest there has built over many years this like miniature train trestle.
Jim Metcalf.
Yes,
You know the name.
Yeah.
it
I put him.
and the trail to get out to it is all these tiny little birdhouses.
Yep.
And that's how you know you're on your way. And there's fairy houses built into the rocks. Yeah. Oh gosh.
Would it look like this?
There's a picture.
Yeah. I
Oh, yeah.
took
Cool.
the first half day of school, I took Rosie and a friend. We did the bike path, which I remember being longer. And so we got to the end of the bike path in about 20 minutes. And I was like, well, there's something really cool in the woods here. And the poor kids, it was like an 85-degree September day. The poor girls are like walking their mountain bikes like up and down these like pretty treacherous trails.
Mhm.
And as soon as we got there, they were like, oh, this was worth it.
Good,
So-
good.
It's just, it's one of I stumbled on it years ago. I didn't know it was there. And then all of a sudden I was there, which is the best way to stumble on it.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
really, if anybody, it's only a 15-minute drive to the trailhead from here. I can't recommend it enough. It is just, it's the kind of thing where like, you know, somebody just built it and then it became a valuable town
Yes.
thing.
Yeah.
And so they can't undo it at this point because like
Yeah.
everybody cares about it. It's that's one of my favorite, the little bridge between the two trees. But
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
They keep everything out all winter too?
Yeah, they keep everything out like it's like a tot lot. There's just
He runs
toys
it.
everywhere.
He runs the trains.
Yeah, well, the story behind it is like he built a little deck and he was like, oh, wouldn't it be fun if we could get a martini delivered to us? So he built the train bridge so he could get a martini delivered to him.
Nice.
Yeah, it's really just,
Brilliant.
it's just
Yeah.
really a wonderful, wonderful place that I can't recommend enough.
He's a great guy.
What is it called? Martini Junction?
Martini Junction, yeah.
That's well.
Yeah, it's in the Needham Town Forest, but like off the beaten path. Like it's not obvious how to get to it until you start seeing
It's
the little
easier on
birdhouses.
foot than by mountain
It's
bike.
much easier by foot.
Where is the trailhead? I've only gone from Jim's house.
So we rode the bike path all the way to the end where it cuts off in on the river in Dover.
Yeah.
And then if you're heading back, there's an old meadow, and the trailhead we used was inside that old meadow. There's a bunch of different ways to get
Okay.
there. It's
Good.
The first time
Martini
Yeah.
Junction.
One is, I think, off of Robin Wood Road.
it's like right, and if you go in that way, it's like it's right
Right
there.
Yeah.
But we were pretty far away from it.
There's Robin Hood.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on.
Robin Hood, yeah.
north or the west side of Robin.
Yeah,
Hood.
but we parked on High Rock.
Yeah.
And came in down through here to the bike path and then got it on the way back, and we must have come up this way, I think.
So it's off of Robin Hood.
Yeah.
basically,
Where's
yeah.
Yeah, but I think it's off the
Robin
west.
Wood is this one.
Oh, okay, so it goes right through it all.
I just
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
right
It's on
there.
Barrett Street.
It's
You got
Yes.
the trailhead there is a
Like that.
little like
Saw that.
it's definitely a real trailhead, but like you're walking, it's like an easement in somebody's yard.
Yeah.
Like it kind of feels like you shouldn't be there. The girls were really upset that I made them ride their bikes through what looked like somebody's yard. I was like,
Yeah.
this is a trailhead. Shut up.
Okay.
Be cool.
He's a
Cool.
cool guy.
Does it give you ideas on what to do in your backyard or
Oh my God, you kidding me?
pick a trail?
Oh my goodness. I could spend the rest of my life doing that. I mean,
What
just the real engineering of it, like, cause it's
Yeah.
not on level ground. Like
No.
each and every one of those had to be custom,
Yeah.
it's,
He did. He built the whole thing with trestles and everything else and the tracks.
yeah, and it looks a little bit like it's made out of popsicle sticks, but like it's
Yeah.
like real, it's like a real
real
train
thing.
trestle, really, and like engineered. It's remarkable.
What engineers do when they retire.
Right, right.
Not trained engineers, not that.
Yeah.
kind, the other kind.
Got it. Thank you.
olives and martinis?
I don't think there were any. I think you have to
Yeah.
go down the street for that.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. You probably have to go to another town.
That's
Needham
right
used
there.
to be
Yeah,
dry.
Needham's
Yeah.
dry.
But it's a great example of like when the town gets behind something that
Yeah.
people do, it becomes permanent.
Yep.
Right? Like their conservation commission could easily go out there and say like, none of this is licensed, take it all down, and they don't because it's on the map. I mean, you can Google it and get there. It's not a secret anymore.
Yeah.
But it's just
a
this
small thing, and it's
Yeah.
not interfering with the wetlands.
Right. It's just a valuable part of the town, and some guy did it in his spare time, and then it became permanent. And
Yep.
we're not out there building train trestles, but we're doing something that's like on its way to being permanent that like everybody values, and
Yeah.
that's my big takeaway from it.
Yeah, in New Canaan, where my wife's daughter lives, there's a park like that with all gnomes everywhere.
Yeah, yeah.
In the tree trunks up there,
Right.
there.
Yeah.
And like you say, they can't take it off.
No.
Really
People would
goes
try it.
serious,
The
yeah.
pitchforks would be out in a hot second and eat
Yeah.
them if they tried to take that place
Oh,
down.
yeah. There's some little fairy houses and gnomes in Shattuck Park.
Oh,
Oh,
good.
there is.
I haven't
Yeah.
noticed them.
Whereabouts?
Just wander around the trails.
They're fairies, man. They're elusive.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. You can find the fairies.
Yeah.
Fairies.
They are up towards the back end, like near Winter Street, near that
Well, they're,
island
yeah.
Oh,
where that white
Where that,
pickup truck is always parked
Yeah.
yes.
and never in the park, actually.
No. Isn't it nice that we have a town ordinance against overnight parking
Hmm.
in the winter.
Jean,
I'm all set.
good. Thanks for coming. The only thing I will not to end as a doggy downer here, but I am kind of disappointed that after only 3 days, somebody has tagged the bench. That
They signed the guest book.
Yeah,
Someone,
I'd like to sign their guest book.
Boy and a girl's name.
oh, okay.
Their initials on the bench.
No,
Yeah.
it wasn't the initial, it's the name.
Oh, it has a name?
Yeah, I forgot what it says, Dave or Steve and Jenny, Genny.
Oh, that's how my grandmother spelled Jenny.
I thought it was gonna say Victor and Mary.
With
Had to
a,
be first.
with a heart and the arrow going through it. We're halfway through October, but in the last 6 weeks, we've done more in the last 6 weeks. Let me just remind you. And this isn't everything. But if we look at this calendar here,
The word gets out.
we started out farmers market every Tuesday, but Noah Day, we had that hike and learn was that picture on Nick's Bridge. Navigating the next chapter is Prescott. Good Neighbor Walk, scavenger hunt.
2 things on the 11th. One's listed, the pumpkin float and the class of 75.
Yep, class of 75. And then couple of upcoming events. And like I said, I don't have the touch a truck on here or a whole bunch of other stuff. So it's definitely like we go in cycles. April and May is, we've got 1,000 things to do, and then September, October, and then we never go dormant, but we kind of things slow down a little bit, and then it ratchets us back up again. So hibernation.
So the October TBD, is that still to come?
We don't know. So one cool thing about this, and that was that Amber Stearns that came to join us back in the spring. She's really kind of breathing new life into this, the Bay Circuit Trail. One thing that she's implemented is a program where I think she's done Concord and someplace else, but she coordinates taking your bike on the commuter rail, going to a certain place. And then if it's a bike trip, then you go from that train station somewhere. But if it's a hiking trip, then you go whatever, the closest trail closest to the train station. So she and I were talking about possibly doing something in October, and it just didn't materialize. But we're hoping that we can figure something out in the near future.
And you'll let us know.
And I think I might let you know. 2 other things we should be thinking about are the AMC Summit, which is the end of January, and that is at the 4 Points in Norwood. Last year it's my fault, we started too late, but if we do want to offer to take them on a walk, take whoever wants to go on a walk, or present, be presenters at that meeting, that would be another option. But whatever we do, we would need to pitch to them ASAP. So if somebody wants to give that some brainstorming, that would be good. And then the other thing, Lee mentioned it offline within the last week, but we need to start thinking about where we want to do a first day hike.
I just wrote down next month we should start talking about first day.
Okay, okay. So Chris just volunteered likewise to chair that one. But yeah, we should try to figure out where to go and start
We get a couple-
advertising.
If we get a couple of bridges, that might.
Oh, if we
Yeah.
get the bridges built at Meadow Street, we got it. I mean, because people will love the update of
Yeah.
oh my gosh, we can go this much further.
What have you done lately?
Good.
Brian?
I did think about that.
Okay,
Real quick,
go for it.
Because earlier you reminded me, you were there with Scoutmaster William Truitt. And he was one of the guys in my Cub Scout pack. So this is my first Cub Scout who's now a Scoutmaster, which is kind of.
Yeah.
Great. And he's a great guy.
Yeah.
That's a point. That should be a point of pride.
I can't take a lot of credit for it. I don't wonder a lot of wonderful leaders on my team back then, and but you know we're proud of it. It's cool.
Yeah, he's a great guy. He's in Troop 42, which is in the first Congregational Church. That's where they meet. It's a very small troop. They have a small Cub Scout pack that feeds Troop 42, but it's never really. 49 is the big one. That's the one that used to be at St. Catherine's, but now they're at the Grace Episcopal Church. But 42 was kind of the smaller brother, if you will.
I
But
don't know when I handed over the Cub Master thing, we were up to 42 scouts in the Cub Scout.
yeah,
So I don't know.
Yep.
If COVID might have kind of dinged it if it's got smaller again.
could be now. I think they have less than 10 kids in the troop. So, but yeah, they're giving it the gold college try. And speaking of college try, anybody have anything else before Justin comes out? Justin, I missed you. Anything else? I think so, a couple, but yeah, Justin went to the Farmers Market. Justin was at the senior center. Nothing extraordinary.
Well, you got to a couple.
You get the initials in the back?
I do have the initials on the back.
Wow, we're making some.
It's a routine now.
Okay.
So seriously, before I go to that, does anybody have anything else that you need to?
We'll talk about next meeting on the 18th
Next meeting is on the,
because of.
because of Veterans Day, we're skipping to November
Oh, okay.
18th. Which is the third Tuesday, I
Yeah.
think, maybe.
What's the date?
November 18th.
November 18th at 7. And I do need to, I'm sure it's okay, but I do need to make sure it's okay with the senior center thing. Otherwise, we'll have to meet at, I don't know, Castle Island or someplace else, but, good point. Thanks, Lee. So I'm going to read you my description of who this recipient is. I'll ruin it and I'll say she is inspirational. She's got huge experience, lifelong experience.
Oh.
She's got varied interests. They don't stop in Norwood Trails, but they go beyond Norwood Trails to who'd want to be out on one of the Harbor Islands, but apparently she wants to be out in the Harbor Islands. And as I present this to all the way over to Marguerite,
Oh, well, thank you.
I'd like, just give us a 2-minute Great Brewster description, Great Brewster Island Journal,
Oh, Great Brewster Island, yeah.
if you don't mind, and congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.